The court held its breath. Was this the great Solomon's solution? To spill innocent blood, to tear a child in two? Yet even as the guards moved to carry out the order, one of the women cried out, her voice breaking with despair, "O my lord, give her the living child and in no wise slay it." The other woman, her face a mask of cold indifference, simply said, "Let it be neither mine nor thine, but divide it." In that moment the truth was laid bare, not through evidence or testimony, but through the raw, primal love of a mother willing to sacrifice everything for her child. Solomon, his eyes missing nothing, saw the truth reflected in the women's reactions. He immediately ordered the child to be given to the woman who had pleaded for its life, recognizing in her desperate plea the unbreakable bond between a mother and her child. The other woman, her deception exposed, was banished from the court, her cold-heartedness a stark contrast to the true mother's love. This story, passed down through centuries, is more than just a tale of a wise king. It's a testament to the power of wisdom to cut through deception, to reveal the truth that lies hidden beneath the surface, and to deliver justice tempered with compassion. Solomon's judgment wasn't just about punishing the guilty, but about protecting the innocent and upholding the sanctity of a mother's love. King Solomon. The name echoes through the corridors of time. A monarch, a sage, a figure shrouded in an aura of mystique. He's a legend whispered on the winds of history. His reign, a golden age for Israel. His wisdom, unparalleled, a beacon that continues to illuminate even today. But what is wisdom? Is it simply knowledge, or is it something more profound? Solomon's life offers us a glimpse into this enduring question. Solomon's story is not just about one man's intelligence. It's a journey into the heart of what it means to lead, to judge, to understand the complexities of the human experience. It's about the pursuit of wisdom and the impact it can have on an individual and an entire civilization. Solomon's tale is as relevant today as it was millennia ago. Solomon's name is synonymous with wisdom, but who was this man who continues to fascinate us across the ages? Solomon was a king of ancient Israel, succeeding his father, King David. He ruled during a period of peace and prosperity, transforming his kingdom into a powerful empire. His reign, the 10th century BCE, marked a pivotal point in Israelite history. He inherited a kingdom already strengthened by his father's victories. Yet Solomon elevated it to new heights. He expanded its borders, built magnificent structures, and established trade networks that stretched far and wide. His wealth became legendary, his court a shimmering spectacle of opulence and sophistication. Solomon's true legacy, however, lies not just in his material accomplishments. It's his unparalleled wisdom that continues to captivate our imagination. The story goes that, at the beginning of his reign, God appeared to him in a dream. Solomon, young and acutely aware of the immense responsibility he carried, was given a choice. He could have asked for anything: wealth, power, long life. Instead, Solomon requested something far more profound: wisdom. He asked God to grant him the ability to discern right from wrong, to lead his people with justice and understanding. This act of humility, of prioritizing the well-being of his people over personal gain, pleased God. It was this choice that set Solomon on the path to becoming a legend. Solomon's life was steeped in destiny from the very beginning. Born in a time of transition and triumph, he was the son of King David and Bathsheba. This wasn't just any lineage. David, a shepherd who became a king, had united a fractured kingdom through sheer willpower and divine favor. He slew the giant Goliath, a tale whispered in hushed tones throughout the land. Solomon, therefore, inherited a legacy woven into the very fabric of Israel. Yet, Solomon's early years were not merely about inheriting a crown, they were about understanding the weight of it. The kingdom he was born into was still young, its scars of past conflicts still healing. The whispers of divided loyalties lingered in the air, a constant reminder of the fragility of peace. Solomon, growing up amidst this backdrop, was privy to the delicate dance of diplomacy and the strategic mind required to maintain unity. Imagine being a young Solomon observing his father, King David. David, a warrior king, transitioning into a seasoned ruler grappling with the complexities of leadership. The lessons were omnipresent, etched into every council meeting, every strategic alliance, every interaction with the people he ruled. Solomon witnessed firsthand the burden of leadership, the constant need to balance strength with compassion, and the ever-present responsibility for the well-being of his people. These early experiences were more than just observations, they were formative experiences shaping the young prince's worldview. The stories of his father's bravery, his struggles, and his victories would have filled Solomon's childhood, instilling in him a deep understanding of courage, resilience, and the profound impact of wise leadership. Jerusalem, the city of David, was more than just the backdrop of Solomon's childhood. It was a living, breathing entity that played a crucial role in his development. The city, perched on a hilltop, was a confluence of cultures, a bustling hub of trade and a beacon of faith. Its very stones whispered tales of ancient prophets and divine interventions. For a young Solomon, it was an education unlike any other. The heart of Jerusalem was the tent of meeting, a sacred space housing the Ark of the Covenant, a symbol of God's presence amidst his chosen people. This sacred space would have been a constant in Solomon's life, a place where he observed religious rituals, listened to the wisdom of priests, and absorbed the spiritual heritage of his people. Growing up in the shadow of the Ark of the Covenant instilled in Solomon a deep sense of reverence and a profound connection to his faith. He witnessed firsthand the power of faith to unite people, to inspire hope, and to provide solace in times of hardship. This understanding of faith as a unifying force would later become a cornerstone of his reign. The bustling marketplaces of Jerusalem, brimming with merchants from distant lands, exposed Solomon to a tapestry of cultures, languages, and ideas. These early encounters with diverse perspectives broadened his horizons, ignited his curiosity, and instilled in him a deep appreciation for the interconnectedness of the world. It was in these teeming marketplaces that Solomon likely developed a nuanced understanding of human nature, of the hopes and dreams that transcended borders and languages. Solomon's education was not confined to the walls of a palace. He received a well-rounded upbringing, likely tutored by priests and scholars in various disciplines: history, law, philosophy, strategy. These were not merely subjects to be memorized, but tools to understand the complexities of the world he was destined to rule. It's not hard to imagine Solomon, even as a boy, displaying a thirst for knowledge, a keen intellect absorbing information like a sponge. We can picture him engaging in lively debates with scholars, challenging assumptions and seeking deeper meaning behind every lesson. This intellectual curiosity, nurtured from a young age, would serve him well when he eventually ascended the throne. His father, King David, recognizing the potential in his son, undoubtedly played a crucial role in shaping Solomon's understanding of leadership. We can envision David sharing his hard-earned wisdom with his son, recounting tales of battles won and lost, of alliances forged and broken. Solomon would have learned the art of diplomacy, the importance of strategic thinking, and the weight of responsibility that came with wielding power. Yet perhaps the most important lesson Solomon learned from his father was the value of humility. David, despite his victories and accomplishments, never lost sight of his own humanity, acknowledging his flaws and seeking guidance from God. This humility, this understanding that even kings were not above making mistakes, would become one of the defining characteristics of Solomon's reign. The weight of a kingdom rested on Solomon's young shoulders. He knew the stories of his father, the legendary King David. David, a warrior who united a nation, a poet who poured his soul into psalms, a man after God's own heart. How could Solomon, even with all his potential, hope to live up to such a legacy? One night, as Solomon grappled with the enormity of his responsibility, a profound experience unfolded. The scriptures tell us that God appeared to Solomon in a dream, a vivid encounter that would forever alter the course of his life. Imagine the young king lying in his chamber, the weight of the world pressing down on him, when suddenly the world of dreams and the divine intertwined. In this dream, God spoke to Solomon, not with booming pronouncements, but with a gentle invitation. "Ask what I shall give thee." These words, imbued with divine power, offered Solomon a blank check of blessings. He could ask for anything his heart desired. Riches beyond measure, invincible armies, a life that stretched on for centuries. The possibilities must have swirled in Solomon's mind, each more tempting than the last. Yet something deeper stirred within him. Was it the lessons learned from his father's triumphs and failures? Was it the understanding of his kingdom's needs woven into the fabric of Jerusalem itself? Or was it a whisper of divine guidance, gently nudging him towards a different path? Solomon, still young, could have easily given in to youthful ambition. Power, wealth, longevity, these were the desires of kings throughout history. He could have secured his reign, amassed unimaginable fortunes, and ruled for centuries, his name etched in stone as the mightiest king the world had ever known. Yet Solomon looked beyond the allure of personal gain. He saw the faces of his people, their hopes, their fears, their longing for a just and prosperous kingdom. He understood that true leadership lay not in amassing power, but in wielding it wisely for the betterment of all. He knew that his kingdom, still young and vulnerable, needed more than just a strong ruler. It needed a wise one. A king who could navigate the treacherous currents of diplomacy, who could dispense justice with fairness and compassion, who could lead his people towards a brighter future. Solomon, in a moment of profound humility and clarity, made a choice that would define his legacy. He chose wisdom above all else. "Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad, for who is able to judge this thy so great a people?" Solomon's request, echoing through the ages, was not for himself, but for his people. It was a plea for the ability to lead with wisdom, to understand the needs of his people, and to guide them with justice and compassion. God, pleased with Solomon's humility and his genuine desire to serve his people, granted his request. The scriptures tell us that God not only bestowed wisdom upon Solomon, but also riches and honor beyond measure. This wasn't merely a reward, but a recognition of the profound responsibility that came with wisdom. Solomon awoke from the dream forever changed. The scriptures don't describe a dramatic transformation, no sudden influx of knowledge. Instead, they speak of a subtle shift, a quiet understanding that permeated his being. This wasn't just knowledge. It was a profound understanding of the human heart, a deep empathy for his people, and an unwavering commitment to justice and righteousness. This pivotal dream, this sacred encounter, marked the beginning of Solomon's reign as a wise and just king. It was the moment when a young king, faced with the overwhelming responsibility of leadership, chose wisdom as his guiding principle. This choice, this profound act of humility and foresight, would shape not only Solomon's destiny, but also the future of his kingdom and the course of history. Solomon's newfound wisdom wasn't a hidden treasure to be locked away. It was a beacon, illuminating his decisions and actions. It was in the way he listened, truly listened, to the concerns of his people, his heart open to their needs and aspirations. It was in the way he weighed every decision, carefully considering not just the letter of the law, but also the spirit of justice and compassion. The kingdom began to thrive under Solomon's rule. It wasn't just about economic prosperity. Though trade flourished and the coffers overflowed, it was a different kind of prosperity, one that touched the very soul of the kingdom. Justice and fairness prevailed. Disputes were settled not with brute force, but with Solomon's legendary wisdom. People from far and wide flocked to his court, seeking his counsel, eager to witness the man who embodied wisdom itself. Imagine a bustling marketplace in Jerusalem, the air thick with the scent of spices and the murmur of countless conversations. Merchants haggling over prices, artisans showcasing their crafts, children darting through the crowds, a microcosm of the kingdom Solomon ruled. And amidst this vibrant tapestry of life, Solomon's presence was felt not as an overbearing force, but as a reassuring presence, a silent guardian ensuring fairness and order. His wisdom wasn't about dictating solutions, but about guiding people towards understanding. He had a unique ability to cut through the noise and clutter of a situation, to see the heart of the matter, and to offer solutions that resonated with both justice and compassion. It was this ability, this extraordinary capacity for understanding and empathy, that set Solomon apart as a ruler. Perhaps the most famous example of Solomon's wisdom is the story of the two mothers and the baby. This story, passed down through generations, is a powerful illustration of his ability to discern truth and to deliver justice in a way that resonated with the very core of human nature. Picture this: two women, their faces etched with desperation and grief, standing before King Solomon. They each claimed to be the mother of the same infant. One woman's baby had died during the night, she claimed, and she had taken the other woman's child to replace her loss. The other woman vehemently denied this, her voice raw with anguish as she pleaded for her child's return. It was a seemingly impossible dilemma, a knot of conflicting claims with no easy solution. Witnesses were unreliable, evidence scarce. How could anyone, even a king, determine the truth in such a situation? Yet Solomon, with his legendary wisdom, devised a plan, a test that would cut through the deception and reveal the true mother. He called for a sword, a chilling sight in the hallowed halls of his court. The women gasped, their faces pale with fear as the gleaming blade was brought before the king. "Divide the living child in two and give half to the one and half to the other," Solomon declared, his voice steady and resolute. The court held its breath. Was this the great Solomon's solution? To spill innocent blood, to tear a child in two? Yet even as the guards moved to carry out the order, one of the women cried out, her voice breaking with despair, "O my lord, give her the living child and in no wise slay it." The other woman, her face a mask of cold indifference, simply said, "Let it be neither mine nor thine, but divide it." In that moment the truth was laid bare. Not through evidence or testimony, but through the raw, primal love of a mother willing to sacrifice everything for her child. Solomon, his eyes missing nothing, saw the truth reflected in the women's reactions. He immediately ordered the child to be given to the woman who had pleaded for its life, recognizing in her desperate plea the unbreakable bond between a mother and her child. The other woman, her deception exposed, was banished from the court, her cold-heartedness a stark contrast to the true mother's love. This story, passed down through centuries, is more than just a tale of a wise king. It's a testament to the power of wisdom to cut through deception, to reveal the truth that lies hidden beneath the surface, and to deliver justice tempered with compassion. Solomon's judgment wasn't just about punishing the guilty, but about protecting the innocent and upholding the sanctity of a mother's love. Solomon's reign wasn't just marked by wise judgments. It was a period of unprecedented peace and prosperity for the kingdom of Israel. Think of it, a kingdom at peace, not through constant warfare, but through the sheer force of wisdom. Solomon understood that true strength lay not just in military might, but in establishing a society where justice, fairness, and knowledge flourished. Under his rule, the kingdom's borders expanded, not through bloody conquest, but through strategic alliances and trade agreements. Imagine caravans laden with gold, spices, and precious stones winding their way to Jerusalem, a testament to Solomon's ability to forge connections with distant lands. His reign wasn't just about accumulating wealth, it was about utilizing it to elevate the lives of his people. Solomon invested heavily in infrastructure, building roads, cities, and irrigation systems. Think of the engineering marvel of his time, a network of roads connecting the farthest reaches of his kingdom to the heart of Jerusalem. These roads weren't just pathways of stone and gravel, they were arteries of commerce, culture, and communication, facilitating the flow of goods, ideas, and people, knitting the kingdom together into a cohesive whole. This wasn't just about economic prosperity, it was about creating a society where knowledge and innovation could flourish. The peace and stability he established provided the fertile ground for a cultural and intellectual renaissance. Scholars, artists, poets, and musicians flocked to his court, drawn by the reputation of a king who valued wisdom and creativity. Imagine the vibrant exchange of ideas, the spirited debates, and the breathtaking masterpieces born out of this golden age. Solomon's wisdom wasn't confined to the borders of his own kingdom. He was renowned throughout the ancient world for his diplomacy, his ability to navigate complex geopolitical situations with a deftness that astounded even the most seasoned rulers. He understood that true power lay not in dominating others, but in building bridges of understanding and cooperation. Think of the Queen of Sheba, a powerful monarch in her own right, journeying from a distant land. Drawn by the stories of Solomon's wisdom, she came not as a supplicant, but as an equal, eager to engage in intellectual discourse, to test the limits of Solomon's knowledge with riddles and philosophical inquiries. Their encounter, a testament to the power of dialogue and mutual respect, cemented Solomon's reputation as a diplomat without equal. His court became a melting pot of cultures, a place where diplomats, merchants, and scholars from all corners of the known world converged. Imagine the vibrant tapestry of languages, customs, and traditions, all woven together by Solomon's ability to foster an environment of mutual respect and understanding. This wasn't just about maintaining peace, it was about expanding the horizons of his kingdom, exposing his people to new ideas and fostering an appreciation for the diversity of human experience. Under Solomon's rule, Jerusalem became more than just a capital city. It transformed into a global hub, a beacon of knowledge and a symbol of peace and prosperity. Perhaps the most enduring symbol of Solomon's reign is the first temple in Jerusalem, a magnificent structure that stood as a testament to his wisdom and his unwavering faith. This wasn't just a place of worship. It was the embodiment of Solomon's vision for his kingdom, a place where God's presence resided among his people, a symbol of unity and a beacon of hope for generations to come. Imagine the sheer scale of the project, skilled artisans from across the land, their hammers ringing in unison as they chiseled massive stones, their craftsmanship a testament to their dedication and artistry. Imagine the gleaming gold, the fragrant cedar wood, and the intricate carvings, all coming together to create a structure of breathtaking beauty and awe-inspiring grandeur. The temple wasn't just a monument to God, it was a symbol of Solomon's legacy, a physical manifestation of the peace, prosperity, and spiritual devotion that defined his reign. It became the heart of religious and cultural life in Israel, a place where people from all walks of life gathered to offer sacrifices, to celebrate festivals, and to seek solace and guidance. Even centuries after its destruction, the temple remains a powerful symbol in Jewish history and tradition, a testament to the enduring legacy of a king who sought to build a kingdom worthy of God's blessings. It serves as a reminder that true wisdom lies not just in amassing wealth and power, but in utilizing them to create something lasting, something that speaks to the very soul of a nation. Solomon's wisdom wasn't confined to resolving disputes within his kingdom's borders. He understood that true prosperity came from looking outward, from building bridges to the wider world. His reign saw an unprecedented expansion of trade, driven by his keen understanding of diplomacy and economics. He knew that true wealth wasn't just about hoarding gold, it was about facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. Think of the bustling port of Ezion-Geber, a hive of activity as ships laden with exotic goods from distant lands sailed in and out. Solomon, recognizing the strategic importance of this port, invested heavily in its development, transforming it into a gateway to the world. From here, his fleet, manned by skilled sailors, ventured out to far-off lands like Ophir, returning with gold, silver, precious stones, and exotic spices. But Solomon's vision went beyond simply accumulating wealth. He understood that trade was a two-way street, a conduit for cultural exchange and diplomatic relations. He established strong ties with the powerful Egyptian pharaohs, securing not just trade agreements, but also a lasting peace that benefited both kingdoms. Imagine the exchange of knowledge, the sharing of artistic traditions, the intermingling of cultures that flourished as a result of these alliances. Solomon's wisdom was evident in his recognition that a kingdom, no matter how prosperous, couldn't thrive in isolation. He knew that true strength lay in building bridges, not walls, in fostering connections with the wider world. His reign, a testament to this understanding, saw the Kingdom of Israel transformed into a regional powerhouse, its influence extending far beyond its borders. While Solomon's reign was marked by peace and prosperity, he never shied away from his duty to uphold justice within his kingdom. His wisdom wasn't just about resolving disputes between individuals, it was about creating a society where the law applied equally to all, where the rights of the vulnerable were protected, and where the guilty were held accountable for their actions. The scriptures tell of a case where two men came before Solomon, each claiming ownership of the same sheep. One man accused the other of stealing his sheep, while the other vehemently denied the accusation, claiming it was his own. It was a classic case of she said, with no witnesses to corroborate either man's story. Solomon, recognizing the difficulty of the situation, devised a clever test. He called for the disputed sheep to be brought before him and then ordered one of his guards to cut the sheep in half, giving one half to each man. The court gasped at the seemingly harsh judgment, but Solomon, his eyes missing nothing, observed the reactions of the two men. The man who had accused the other of stealing immediately cried out in protest, begging Solomon to spare the sheep and give it to the other man instead. The other man, however, remained silent, seemingly content with the prospect of receiving half a sheep. In that moment, Solomon saw through the deception. The man who had been willing to sacrifice the sheep to ensure its survival was clearly its true owner, his compassion revealing the depth of his bond with the animal. The other man, motivated by greed and a sense of entitlement, had been exposed as a fraud. Solomon, with his characteristic wisdom, awarded the sheep to its rightful owner, his judgment a testament to his ability to see beyond surface appearances and discern the truth. Solomon's reign, a golden age for Israel, eventually drew to a close. Even the wisest of kings are mortal, yet Solomon's story doesn't end with his passing. It transcends the limitations of time, his wisdom echoing through the corridors of history, inspiring generations to come. Why does Solomon's story still resonate with us today, millennia after his reign? Perhaps it's because his story reminds us that true wisdom isn't about possessing an encyclopedic knowledge or solving complex riddles. It's about understanding the human heart, about leading with compassion and humility, about seeking justice and fairness for all. These are timeless values, as relevant today as they were in Solomon's time. Solomon's life reminds us that wisdom is a journey, not a destination. It's about constantly seeking knowledge, challenging our assumptions, and striving to make decisions that benefit not just ourselves, but those around us. It's about recognizing that true leadership lies not in wielding power, but in using it to uplift others. Imagine a young person today, grappling with a difficult decision, feeling the weight of responsibility on their shoulders. They might find solace and guidance in Solomon's story, a reminder that it's okay to ask for wisdom, to seek guidance from mentors and role models, and to prioritize the well-being of others above personal gain. The flame of Solomon's wisdom continues to burn brightly, illuminating the path for those seeking to lead with compassion, integrity, and a deep understanding of the human experience. It's a flame that burns within each of us, waiting to be kindled by the pursuit of knowledge, the courage to choose wisely, and the compassion to lead with our hearts as well as our minds. Solomon's legacy extends far beyond the borders of ancient Israel. His story, woven into the fabric of Western civilization, has inspired countless works of art, literature, and philosophy. From the majestic compositions of Handel's oratorio Solomon to the thought-provoking writings of philosophers pondering the nature of wisdom, his influence is undeniable. Think of the countless proverbs attributed to Solomon, nuggets of wisdom passed down through generations, offering guidance on everything from friendship and family to work and leadership. These proverbs, often simple yet profound, capture the essence of Solomon's wisdom, his ability to distill complex truths into timeless and relatable insights. His story serves as a bridge between ancient wisdom and modern challenges. In a world often characterized by complexity and uncertainty, Solomon's life offers a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, wisdom, compassion, and a commitment to justice can prevail. Imagine a world where leaders, inspired by Solomon's example, prioritize the well-being of their people above personal gain, where dialogue and diplomacy triumph over conflict, and where societies are built on foundations of justice, fairness, and a deep respect for knowledge. This is the world that Solomon's legacy invites us to create. Solomon's story is a testament to the enduring power of wisdom. It's a story that continues to inspire, challenge, and guide us as we navigate the complexities of our own lives and strive to create a world where wisdom, compassion, and justice prevail. His legacy is not just a collection of stories and proverbs. It's a living testament to the transformative power of seeking wisdom and using it to make the world a better place.